Well, good day and I love you. I was not quite ready, but it started on its own. I was going to fix this craziness, but I don't think there's any fixing it. Y'all know I get on here fresh out of bed with my bed head because bed head don't care. Besides, I think it's good for us to experience the real facets of a person. You know, you see plenty of pictures of me all done up and prettified on here with my pretty voice and my pretty self when I got my prettiness already. But what about the everyday, right? So, welcome to Watch on Wednesday, where we get to see each other and ourselves. Ooh. All right, I have something fun for you today because today, well, the last few days, this is that time on Earth. The North and South Node are changing signs and they're being squared by Pluto. So I wrote the other day that we are being cosmically compelled to clean our karma and, I should say dangerously, drastically, dauntingly dragged to dance with our destiny. That's the truth, and that's probably how it feels. So there are tons of learning lessons coming for each of us on Earth right now, and it feels like a lot, and it feels like things are out of control and they're not going to work out, and it is out of control, right? And so I have been blessed with years at a time of really heavy, daunting circumstances that blessedly taught me how to hone my vibration one day at a time. I was in family court through 2017, 2018, and 2019 to the tune of $100,000, where my ex-husband and I were going to war, trying to annihilate each other and fighting for custody and of my son, of our son, and worrying about the ways that he should be raised. And both of us were right, and both of us felt like the world was coming to an end. I'm sure I've not talked to him about that, but I would imagine that he felt probably as chaotic and scared as I did, but he was the enemy at that time, right? And that was what I understood, that if he was the enemy, then he was going to stay my enemy, and I was going to stay perpetually trapped in that situation. And like many of you may know who have gone to family court, once you in, you ain't getting out. Because that system just wants you in and wants your money, your time, your energy, your resources. Yes. And I refused to live that way because I lived in addiction and alcoholism and self-depreciating war with self for a long time. And so I refused to go back. I ain't nobody's bitch. I'm God's baby girl. Yes. And so I understood that if that was my thinking about my current situation, it was going to stay my situation because I was going to attract those circumstances to me because that's the way I saw it. So I had to change my mind about how I saw him and my situation. And there was no way to realistically, logically do that when I had to be in court all this time and the situation was real AF, right? And so I had to go into la la land, into make-believe land, and create a story that gave me the freedom to view the situation and him differently so I could change my vibrational focal point. Because that's the key, right? And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Where you're at inside is what you're attracting. It's not what you're trying to consciously think about. It's not the clothes you're putting on. It's not that best foot forward crap or the words you're using. It's how you really feel inside. Because your subconscious programming and your feelings are strong. And they're like in there with a megaphone sending out, they got a Rolodex, they got every kind of messaging system you can think of, and your little subconscious is in there like blah, 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 just like shooting out all the messages to the universe, and the universe is always listening, always responding like the loving mother that she is. So I had to decide that things were different, and because I wasn't going to stay in that situation. So I painted a scenario in my head that on the other side of this beautiful earth, he, my ex-husband, is of my tribe. And that everyone in my circle, in my life, decided that they were going to assist in my evolution, that it's everyone's on Team Heather, that it's like, go Heather, we're all here for Heather, right? I know it is my universe, might as well make it good. So I decided that he was on my team and that his part was to choose certain circumstances that would invite me to choose certain responses for my highest evolution, for my highest growth. Or not, I could just double down on the bullshit like has always been done before, stay in the purgatory system, let my son grow up like that, be a deficient, defective, dying single mom. And that's how it felt. You never have enough of anything, right? And I said, hail to the nah. So I decided that he was on my team and that he was choosing circumstances that would force me into a really hard spot, and I would get to choose whether or not I wanted to grow out of that. And that he was on my team, and that he was amazing, and that he was doing his part by God in honor of me, and that I could take it as a gospel. So I decided, my son and I talked about this, and we decided to see he and his wife like that they were on our team, that they were amazing, and to treat them and to regard them like that in our head and in our mind and in our heart and with our words, regardless of what the truth was. Now, we held that line for a long time when we would be saying things that were not lining up for our face, and they looked crazy in front of our face, and things for a while did get worse, if you want to use those terms. They became more stressful, more strenuous, and more trying. And I continued to hold the line, understanding that this stuff that's inside me has been there for a long time. Chances are the stuff that's inside me has been there for eons, and it's been taught by my family and held in my family Akash, which means it's held in the master library for my soul and my soul family. So to just make up my mind overnight and be like, boom, change, ta-ding, or what is it, ta-ding, was not going to happen like that, right? I was going to have to hold the line and see it this new way for a long time. Vibrationally, this is the same thing that Jesus says when he's telling you to turn the other cheek and to go forth and tell no one. He's telling you to note the bullshit with your left eye to see what's going on, but with your right eye and your heart and your mind and your body to turn your cheek and take your energy focused on the solution of resolution, walking forward, the good path, seeing that person, that situation as like, God's got it. I know you look like chaos right now, but I trust it's going to work out fine. And you're a beautiful baby of God also. And you just turn your other cheek. Then you go forth with that notion, with that peace and compassion in your heart. And you don't tell anyone. I wasn't running to people right then and telling them, so my ex and I are in court to the tune of $100,000, but I think he's a great guy. Because I would have looked like a crazy, right? And this went on for a long time. And it's funny because those of you who are on social media had no idea any of this was going on with me. I was still showing up every day, giving you a daily dose of well-being, wasn't I? Yes, I was moving my ass and taking action in alignment with my spiritual resolution. Okay? Today I just went outside and I picked a whole bunch of corn cobs off my corn plants. It's the first time I've ever harvested corn. And I heard a quote and all of this stuff came together for me. I was listening to a teacher and he said that a beach ball naturally floats to the surface of the water. It is buoyant. The only thing that stops it from floating to the surface of the earth is that you hold it down. The physics on earth demand and command that it floats up. It's like gravity. Gravity is a rule of physics, a natural law of physics on planet Earth. You can disagree with gravity, but the thing is, gravity's still gonna hold your little punk ass right here. Whether you talk shit or not, it's still gonna work, right? The physics of energy, the laws of nature on planet Earth apply. Whether you ascribe or attribute or agree, they're still there. So if we can learn to allow that ball to float to the earth, understanding that if I water the corn, it's going to make fruit, regardless of what I think about it. I can sit there and be like, I think that corn hates me. I think the corn's not going to work. I think it's a conspiracy. I think the whole corn row is corrupt. But if I water it every day, the physics on this planet, the natural adaptation and evolution of planet Earth are going to make me have corn one day that I'm going to be able to go out there and pick. Ha! That's what time it is. For today, I invite you to look at your circumstances and to find the ideal outcome with what's going on in your life. Go into pretend land. Pretender land, as my daughter used to say. Go into pretender land, okay? And imagine with what's going on in your life, whether it's a creative situation or a relationship situation or a financial situation. Take a second and allow yourself to release the 3D limitations in your viewing right now, in your perspective, and allow yourself to see something amazing. Allow yourself to entertain the highest outcome fathomable, no matter how crazy it is, okay? No matter how crazy it is. Take a few minutes and jot that down. We're going to work on cultivating these solutions, but you have to see it first. So take a couple seconds today, allow yourself to entertain the highest outcome of whatever's going on, no matter how crazy, no matter how unattainable it seems, and write it down. That's the first step in our manifestation exercise and process today. Our card for the day is, I always trust the direction of the universe and know I'm being guided, with a beautiful dragonfly. Amen to that. Amen to that. Thank you for being here. I love you so very big.